not let me down, Johnson. I mean, 8 heart. Welcome to hell. 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 待たせたな相棒。奴の意志を引き継ぐ悪魔やつ持つ心臓。闇のヒーロー、ドクロのジョンソン。エイトハートの登場。7つの弾丸。でも大丈夫、悪魔とダンシング。やり合う毎晩。ベジタリアン、食らうお野菜。イコール全ては大胆。超効くぜ、魔界やばいぜ。旅は道連れ、ライトショップヒスケル。闇を見つめ、今宵のビッグゲーム邪魔する奴らを全員沈めよう。I'm a hero、8つの心臓。お前に倒せないエイトハート。バックな話だぜ、孤軍奮闘。貫く正義、やるしやる分母。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。今だろうロムルビーは終わらない。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。死にどろロムルビーは終わらない。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。今だろうロムルビーは終わらない。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。死にどろロムルビーは終わらない。あいつの意志を継いでいる俺がいる限り奴は死んでねえ。地獄の果てで闇を切り裂け。8つの鼓動を闇に響かせ。一期一会より一期を食え。実力のねえ奴は散るだけ。今を生きるため探したわけ。Welcome to hell。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。今だろうロムルビーは終わらない。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。死にどろロムルビーは終わらない。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の旅だって構わない。今だろうロムルビーは終わらない。何が待ってるかわからない。それが旅の醍醐味さ変わらない。最低の低の低の低の低のの Welcome to hell。
Gonna bug the hell out of me.
Oh well. Hello everybody
Yeah.
and welcome to the stream.
Back to hype.
Hello.
Back to raw-based Kino today because
Hello.
we are coming down to the wire on Umineko.
How much of the wire is the wire, though?
I mean, they've said a few times, like, probably like 2 more sessions.
And then of course we have the we have Saku in the oh yeah very good one more stream. Not in that order. It's in the reverse order. But we're going to be we're going to be doing more of this shit today.
Woo.
Let's go ahead and turn off my cool beats.
This episode of Umineko no Naku Koroni is brought to you by Lady Lambda Delta's super cool, pop, and cute episode. Remember, she needs to be in your top 3.
It's also brought to you
Top
from the
5 at the
fireworks
very least.
It's
that
top
are
5 at the very
being
least.
outside of my window.
Sorry, what did you say, Ben?
It's also brought to you by the fireworks that are being shot outside of my window.
Right into your room?
Incredible.
Tragic.
But yeah, enough of that nonsense. We're just gonna fucking get right into it. No preamble, no nothing. We're just going raw. Oh. There's a fierce roar and several bright flashes.
What in the...
This is so much cooler than what the original version was.
Yeah! Those were candies!
Candy grenades?
A chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Burncastle and her pack of familiars in an instant. They were multicolored fireworks, or rather, multicolored candy that burst with a flash and scattered everywhere. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Countless thick candies, sugar sculptures, cookies and tarts flew in every direction. And each one of those split and exploded into hundreds of candies, each of which exploded again into a cloud of confetti. However, these sweets weren't sweet. The confetti was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and sharper than any blade. As the colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted the entire pack of cats into little bits. The emerald green glints were scattered everywhere and sparkled like the night sky, and among them danced a cloud of pretty candies that looked like they'd go well on a Christmas tree. It was sufficiently outrageous and beautiful and cute to mark the Great Witch Lady Lambda Delta's appearance on the scene.
Oh, if it isn't Lambda. I was hoping to meet you in the party hall.
I love you, Vern. Isn't whispering our love all the better for alone?
I'll be happy to hear it after I've plucked off all your limbs.
With a jerk of her chin, Byrne ordered her familiars to attack.
This is my dearly beloved and only friend in the world. Her arms from the elbow down, her legs from the knees down. You can chew those up however you please. But not a scratch anywhere else on her.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, the whale! The whale! The cloud of cats undulated again, reformed into a single mass, and became the emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims who snuck into the city of books. It was shaped like an impossibly vast whale. However, would it look like a whale from Lambda's perspective? She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth about to swallow up everything.
Apparently Con really likes whales.
Simply wonderful. I'm about to be overwhelmed by Byrne's love, aren't I?
I do love you, Lambda. Once your limbs are gone, I'll skewer you through your butt and hang you by my bed. Every morning I'll give you a good morning kiss, and every evening I'll kiss you goodnight.
Sounds great. And I better wrap you up in my love, too.
However, Lambda Delta's war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, riding leviathan in a single bite.
Yes, you are wonderful, Lambda. I love that empty-headed way you just do things without looking ahead or worrying about your own life. And?
The same instant that Lambda Delta was swallowed and Burncastle was sure of her victory, the latter felt a slight breeze playing with her hair. The countless sweets that Lambda Delta had sent flying like fireworks, and which drifted about like the decorations at a Christmas party, were flowing. No, they were converging on a single point. It was like watching a firework run backwards. Countless sweets rapidly contracted around the vast, closed mouth of the Leviathan. A gigantic reverse explosion concentrated on a point inside it, or perhaps it was more like countless candies showering the Leviathan from all directions like bullets. Inside that mass of green was a black swirl. That swirl was on a palm. The palm of Lambda Delta wore a defiant smile. It was a mass of super gravity. All the sweets, the cats, the whale, and everything else was being sucked into that one point and crunched.
I'll hold you tight. Get over here, Byrne.
You're trying to suck me in?
All of the candies on the Delta had scattered were getting sucked back into the black hole on her palm at an unbelievable speed. The rich explosion of the oncoming candy whittled away the Leviathan, crushing it inwards.
Lambda!
Come on, let me give you a hug.
With all of her strength, Bernkastel held her ground in midair, trying to resist this supergravity. For the first time, all traces of condensation had left her face. Even though the Delta's cocky expression was marred by the sweat trailing from her forehead. Because their power was so overwhelming, any victory would have to be instantaneous. If either relaxed in the slightest, they'd match each other's strengths and get dragged into another dizzying long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go through that again, so neither of them showed the slightest mercy for their most beloved friend. By now, the Leviathan had been completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Bernkastel was the only one still holding her ground. However, a windstorm of candy asteroids that the asteroids built repeatedly slammed into Bernkastel, wearing away at her girl's form bit by bit.
I've got to get away, or I'll really...
The thing flying into Bernkastel's range of vision was a comet pelting straight for her, with a massive present box at its core and a cloud of candy surrounding it.
Lambda! My body!
The candy comet wiped out Bernkastel along with her scream. It burst into little bits, and within a blink of an eye, it was sucked back into a hole of supergravity. Once it was all gathered into one place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing all the cats and their master, it now looked like a wriggling, flickering emerald green galaxy that floated just above Lambda Delta's palm. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing in further and further, until at the end, it had become a single green shining confetto. Then it fell, down onto her outstretched palm.
Sorry, Bern. I wanted to play with you always, so I've taken it easy and pretended to be in a pinch.
Lambda Delta held the confetto above her head and peered at it.
But the truth is, I'm just impossibly strong. Sorry about that.
Then she pressed the confetto onto her pink lips, gave it a light kiss, and bit down.
This doesn't taste like Bern.
Lambda Delta licked her fingertips, then turned to face the empty air behind her.
I already knew. My beloved Lambda.
Ah, I love you, Bern.
Liar. I knew that you never took me seriously.
In that case, let's love each other for real. Both of us. Seriously.
I do love you, Lambda Delta. I'm happy. So happy.
I do love you, Bernkastel. I'll turn you into candy and cuddle you with my tongue forever.
No matter who wins, our love will never fade. That's wonderful. Just wonderful.
Okay. Let's love each other right now.
With a crash, crack-like lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. Then finally, the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet's assault. It was a bizarre scene, more ridiculous than anything anyone could imagine. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass, and a fleet of sailboats flew in one after another. They were crowded with goats pushing each other, and spilling off the sides.
Come, let us begin! This is the Golden Land's final banquet!
A banquet. It wasn't for some fancy metaphor, but a simple statement of fact. The overwhelming surge of goat troops came in like a tsunami. The residents of the Golden Land, who stood defiantly, were like a forgotten sandcastle on a beach. A fight between a wave and a sandcastle is not a fight. This is a banquet for the oncoming Vikings at a stand-up meal. The voracious, merciless goats.
There's no way around it. Fire!
Good! Come, goats! Bring destruction to all that has form, stillness to all that moves, despair to all who live!
Setsubo.
All those who could use magic fired it off at once. With a shout like a thunderclap, the goat tsunami rushed forward. Everything collided at once, and there was a brilliant and terrible explosion. Sparks and smoke, flying splinters and screams. For just an instant, the fierce magical cannonballs fired by Beato, Virgilia, and the Chiesto Sisters' Corps seemed to halt the goat tsunami in its tracks. However, their numbers were so great that they didn't even flinch. The goat wave continued to walk over the corpses that had been blasted away, or which had fallen to their knees in weariness. The mound of corpses piled up, and still more goats were shot down as they tried to cross it. So that, in a few seconds, it really was tall enough to be a tsunami.
Pitiful! This Golden Land you built is nothing more than a sandcastle some kid left on a beach. Be swallowed up and disappear!
Perhaps you would liken it to ripples being leaning against a wharf. A sandcastle getting swallowed by a wave. Just you try swallowing my castle!
Beato lifted her hands, telling the pair of battle towers that had been hidden deep in the ground that the day of glory had come again. The goat tsunami looked up at it in shock. After all, this time the tsunami that towered over everything wasn't them.
Sorry, sister stepped in my room.
Fire!
A dozen of rapid-fire ballista rounds left from the battle tower's gun ports. The goats let out a confused scream at the furious tempest that was bearing down on them. However, they saw something else, too.
Gungnir.
Oh shit!
And the sky high above the tower was a reaper astride a divine horse and backdropped by the moon. A massive spear the size of a tower in its hand. The great witch sitting on the horse by the reaper spoke.
Welcome back. This world does not belong to you.
Do it, teacher!
The heavenly spear pierced the ground. For an instant, it looked like some divine towers were sticking out of the ground. However, that was the very last thing that those eyes ever saw. Ganganir. The sacred spear was the embodiment of heaven's wrath, and the strength to bury an unclean city in a single stroke was unleashed upon the pack of goats. With a massive explosion that resembled a volcanic eruption, goats were sent flying all over the place.
Not bad. I guess they really are witches.
But is it enough?
The enemies keep on coming! It looks like we'll be the ones swallowed up after all!
At least you two seem to be enjoying yourselves.
How could one fail to enjoy such a festival? It seems our time in the limelight should not be stolen from us after all!
Looks like it. I'm all fired up.
Yes. The crowd of goats truly was like a wave pressing in from the sea. You might be able to split a ripple on the beach with your feet, but you can't split the sea. Witches could. However, that meant the other side also had someone who could split seas. Suddenly, smoke poured from one of the two towers, and the ground shook as it crumpled.
Oh, fuck! What the hell happened?
Over there, on the top of that tower, the top of the other tower.
Erica. But of course it is your turn now, is it not?
At the top of the battle tower, Erica stood gracefully, wielding her scythe.
I did enough to show the witches of the Golden Land proper respect. All magic is fake. Just a fantasy sandcastle that'll always vanish when mystery swallows it up. Playing witches was pretty fun, though. I think I remember playing something like this with some older girls from the neighborhood when I was younger. So let's bring this to an end. Now it's time to hear you scream.
Hey, if she said that, then doesn't that mean her own witch status is revoked as a result?
Erica threw that pretentious pirate hat she had been wearing this whole time into the sky. With the moon behind it, Erica's form, her afterimage, vanished from the tower's peak.
Where is she?
Moon Raider! She's on the side of the tower!
Oh yes, the CG! Shaking with a wild, joyous laughter, Erica dashed straight down the tower. She swung her scythe like a baton as she passed along the tower's wall. Its gun ports, walls, pillars, and everything else was crushed, leaving a trail of smoke. So from the sidelines, it looked as though a line of smoke suddenly split the tower from top to bottom. The golden arrows of the Sister Corps chased after Erica like golden threads into a sewing machine.
Get her! Get her! Get her!
You monster! It is a sword and embroidered me. Good.
Even the golden arrows couldn't catch up with Erica. Finally, Erica reached the bottom of the battle tower and empty cartridges were ejected from the golden bows.
Burst, useless tower! Isn't that the phrase?
Erica, who had now landed on the ground, slowly stood up and tapped the tower behind her with the handle of her scythe. A tiny tap cut the final string that held the tower together, and the whole thing fell in on itself with an earth-shattering crash. Once again, the dark tsunami rumbled forward through the rubble and smoke.
I am Ferdinand Erica, Witch of Truth! This moment marks the dismantling of the Golden Land by the truth! Dust to dust, illusions to illusions! I'll end your daydream for you. Come, try and remember, ghosts! Remember how you died so long ago!
The goat tsunami swallowed everything up. When she saw them sink under the black sea of goats, Erica guffawed from atop the debris of the tower.
Come on now! Kill them! Massacre them all! Cut off all their heads and stick them on spears! Ghosts of 1986, the time has come for the whirlpool of truth to swallow you whole and erase you. So long!
I didn't know there was a fucking chapter cut shit.
Bass Kino swag, loved it.
Ava had broken the magic circle around the key beforehand after all. By the time Battler and Angie reached it was falling apart like the sand in an hourglass. They tried punching and kicking it to make it break faster, but nothing they did hastened the process.
It looks like she broke it a while ago. But it'll probably take some time before it's gone.
Just a bit longer, I think. If we can just buy time for 5 minutes! Judging by the speed the magic circles were crumbling and the general appearance of the whole scene, it looked like it would be over soon. However, right now, could even 5 minutes be considered soon? They turned around. Beyond the bookshelf ravine was a universe. Even for Battler, who had seen Beato's fights many times over. The battle between Lambda Delta and Burncastle was so mind-defying that he couldn't think of a single word to describe it. When he finally managed to find a word, it was a universe. Each time a battle between Lambda Delta and Burncastle unfolded, a universe was created between the pair of them. Big bangs would take place, universes would be created, galaxies beyond number would be born and erased. Then just when it seemed that a big crunch had occurred and that the universe had met its demise, there would be another big bang and another universe would be created. It was like watching gods playing. The two witches created and destroyed worlds over and over again, almost as though the two creators were fighting to prove that their universe was the right one. If you let your guard down the slightest, then just watching this would steal your soul. That's how it felt.
So how y'all enjoying the episode so far?
I'm having a great time.
Having a fucking blast.
Yeah,
Good
this is
shit,
good
good
stuff.
shit.
This is the
I
best.
actually remembered that CG being animated too.
Oh no,
I-
I remember that CG being animated because it was in the Saku version of it.
Ah,
In the
really?
Saku in the Saku opening, it shows Erica like rushing at the camera.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Go
We'll
ahead.
be able to get the key back any second now. Then it'll be possible to go back to the Golden Land with the fragment Lambda Delta gave us, right?
Go back as soon as you get the key. I can't leave Lambda Delta on her own.
You're going to jump into that fight?
I can't leave her on her own. Their fight may defy common sense. However, they're perfectly and evenly matched. So, if anyone jumps in, even a single weak human like me, something might break. A perfect balance maintained by two great powers can easily break by adding even a little strength to one side. However, actually rushing in there to add that little bit of strength would be literally suicidal. Like a moth flying into a furnace. It might burn up before it even reaches it. Once you get the key, go straight back to the Golden Land. We don't know how long they can hold out, remember?
I can't go back alone, not when everyone is fighting.
That's right. This is your fight. So fight! I know you regret not dying with everyone else, but you got to overcome that feeling and live in the future. That's what you decided to do, right? Angie had no words to respond with. Her brother and everyone else would probably die. So she wanted to die in the same place and at the same time as everyone else. However, that could not be allowed, and she mustn't wish for it. She had already made up her mind. She had sworn to live in the future, without turning back to look at everyone's deaths. When you get back to the Golden Land, show that key to Beato. Beato will show you 2 doors. Then she'll give you an easy puzzle and tell you to open one of them. That's the last game on my game board.
2 doors.
Of the 2, one will lead you to the future. Don't worry. I'm sure you won't choose the wrong one now. Also, once you get through it, don't turn back until the door closes.
Why can't I turn back?
When the door closes, you won't be able to see our fate anymore. In other words, we'll be shut inside the cat box.
A fate inside a cat box has endless truths.
That's right. You might have lost pathetically, or might have made a miraculous comeback and survived. In other words, if you, the Witch of the Future, are sent into the future without witnessing the end of our conflict, we'll still have a chance at victory. However, if you keep on looking at us, you'll see when we get annihilated. It'll put the odds of our defeat at 100%. So to give us a miraculous victory, you must not turn back once you go through that door. Got it?
Yeah.
So, I'll go and help Lambda. If you go back to the Golden Land for seeing me walk off like a hero, that's how my story will end for you.
The end of your battle will be sealed in the cat box. So you certainly won't lose.
Exactly. So don't look back. You'll have the key soon. You've got to go back to the Golden Land, like your life depends on it. So real quick, I have one message for the you of the future. Don't forget it, and engrave it into your heart!
Okay. Okay.
No matter what happens, never abandon the hopes that keep you alive. All of us are always behind you. If you just believe, we can even speak to you. Believe it. If one thing is certain, it's that miracles happen when you believe. At that moment, Lambda Delta and Burncastle wrapped in a massive explosion. Surely one of them had delivered a powerful blow. There were no further explosions. So that strike must have decided the match. When the smoke clears, who will be left standing? The magic circle sealing the key still needed several minutes to dissolve.
Are you still there? My beloved Lambda Delta.
All that came into sight was Burncastle. There was no answering voice from Lambda Delta. This is a sign of her victory and did not cause Burncastle's expression to grow any brighter.
Too bad, Lambda. And I thought we'd be able to build a universe together. It's too bad. Really too bad.
Burncastle was still focusing all of her nerves on the battle, so she took no notice of Battler and Angie by the key. However, she would probably notice soon, and then there would be nowhere to run. The last section of the magic circle was starting to fade away. However, almost cruelly, the final circle went slower than the rest. Seeing that, any hopes that it would dissolve in a minute, maybe a few dozen seconds, were crushed absolutely. Battler readied himself. Well, this fight probably won't work out as well as the last one. But it looks like I'm up now.
Oni-chan.
You're great, Angie. I'm proud that you didn't try to stop me. With tears still pouring down her face, Angie lovingly rubbed her cheek against the hand that had been patting her head.
I've got to gather the kitties again. I thought Battler would be with her, but I don't see him for some reason. After all, one guy like him would be about as annoying as a pebble in my shoe.
The smoke cleared completely, and I saw a huge cloud of candy bits floating around, like it was Lambda Delta's corpse. A star-shaped cookie bounced off Burncastle's head. It was missing one of its points, giving it a lonely feeling.
Lambda Delta, live with me. We'll become a single universe, with you inside me.
Burncastle chewed the cookie and swallowed it.
This way, we'll always be together. I love you, Lambda.
Me too, Burn.
Burncastle's stomach suddenly swelled like a balloon.
Oh no.
The bulge rose from her stomach to her throat and exploded like a firework from her mouth. From Burncastle's mouth spewed fireworks, sparks, fragments of candy.
You should really fix those habits you had since you were a cat. Here's a hint. If you find a piece of candy lying on the ground somewhere, don't pick it up and eat it.
You got a cat stuck in your throat?
That's not the expression, it's cat got your tut.
Burncastle doubled over even more, still spitting up an exploding firework. The birth of a small universe from the sweet had hit her directly from the inside of her stomach. Even Burncastle couldn't withstand that. As Burncastle repeatedly vomited fireworks so violently that it seemed her guts would spill out, her body flickered in and out of existence, and she glared at Lambda with a terrifying expression. Her body was flickering because she had taken so much damage that even maintaining her form was now difficult.
How slovenly, Burn. Your body's falling apart.
You didn't say Lambda.
I did.
Yeah, shit.
You did? I didn't hear that shit.
She coughed it out.
Ow.
I sort of felt like losing for a bit. But I changed my mind. If I became a single universe with you, you wouldn't whisper to me of your love anymore.
True. I'm not the type to give food to a fish I've already caught.
I know. That's why you shine so beautifully. You'll lead someone on, but you'll never actually dote on them, just like a proud queen of cats.
I'll turn you into a cardboard box and make you my scratching post.
And I'll make you a shaman son, get bored after plucking one string, and then put you in a cupboard and let the pus die. That fucking
Pus dial up on you?
Oh no, not pus dial up.
Alright, let's try that again.
Okay.
Amanda's gonna be popping Burns' pimples.
Gross.
That shit is nasty.
Hey, that's
Disgusting.
hey,
Alright.
somebody's into that.
And I'll make you a shaman son, get bored after plucking one string, then put you in a cupboard and let the dust pile up on you.
The goat tsunami swallowed up everything, but sea spray was still flying about. Really proud of that. The reefs resisted the ocean that was trying to cover them, and were smashing waves left and right. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the Inquisitors of Heresy specialized in close-range combat and were rapidly building a mountain of corpses. The witches fought hard too, but they would have preferred to a fight at a distance if they could. Illusions alone wouldn't be enough. In these battle conditions, all of the humans were thrust right into the center of the fight. Everyone in the Ashurmia family displayed a fighting spirit equal to the witches and guarded their backs. Even humans are not powerless. They have guns. If the goats supported fantasy, they could use these as the ultimate anti-magic weapon. If the goats supported mystery, they could use these in a much more obvious way. Those .45 long cold bullets delivered fatal wounds to each and every goat they struck.
Just die already! How long you going to resist? Give up and sink, Ashurmia! Telling an Ashurmia to sink makes him fight all the harder! Little girl, you have no idea what the Ashurmia family is! You were dead even before 1986, weren't you? It's about time you stopped moving, Gramps!
Erica's razor-sharp scythe buried itself into Kinzo's chest. It dug straight into his heart, but the daring smile on Kinzo's face didn't even falter.
Oh. Was my death ever witnessed by anyone outside the cat box? I am indestructible. Indestructible!
A punch containing the entirety of Kinzo's last spark of life sent Erica flying.
Mother, are you okay?
Overcome my corpse! The Ashurmia family never turns back!
As Erica tried to deliver the finishing blow, Kraus stepped in between them, blocking the way.
I will be your opponent in Father's place.
Oh? if it isn't the incompetent investing expert. It's pretty impressive how you managed to find all of the worst bets, losing your money so quickly.
And yet, even I remember to tie my shoes.
Huh?
Pow!
Erica tried to look down at her feet, but what she saw was Krause's left fist.
She actually fell for it!
Krause's left uppercut made Erica float into the air. Not by magic, but by the simple laws of physics. For an instant,
Juggle.
Erica saw the moon.
Get juggled, bitch!
Maybe I was incompetent as an investor. However, any of my college friends will attest to my talent as a boxer.
Dude pulled a Scott Pilgrim.
I will not allow you to discredit every part of the Ushirimiya family's little girl.
You damn small fry!
Oh, goats. Stay in rotation.
Canon is an illusion. An illusion created by a lonely Jessica.
At the school festival, I introduced Canon-kun to everyone. Saku, Hina, and everyone else. All of my friends can testify to that. Don't make assumptions about a relationship based on your own imagination.
That's the point. Jessica's body blow made the goat's massive body cave in.
Splendidly done, milady. To think that you could wield such power in such a tight spot like this.
Well, of course. After all, I'm thinking I don't really care if I die. This is the first time we work together, you and my back. Too bad it isn't cutting the cake.
Jessica laughed embarrassedly. She looked even more relaxed than she had on stage at the school festival.
We have plenty to cut here besides cake.
You always try to sound so cool. But that's what I like about you.
The massive bodies that rushed at them, trying to deny their relationship and their very existence, had two choices: to be sliced or be struck. Each time one of those bodies hit the floor, it became proof that the two of them existed.
Yeah, let the bodies hit the floor! I am very hype right now.
Second go. Robot appears to be away. Go ahead, Sam.
Canon is an illusion. George is an antisocial shut-in. Their love itself is an illusion and doesn't exist.
Sing with George.
Sima, look out!
This long-sized fist buried itself into George's face. It was the middle of a massive, confused battle. There was no way to dodge an unexpected attack like that.
An antisocial shut-in, huh? Very well. Say what you wish about me.
George had indeed been hit with a fist right to the center of his face. However, he didn't bend over backwards, not even an inch. The goat started to wonder what he had hit. Hadn't he punched a human made of flesh? It was as though he had slammed his fist into a steel wall, and it was his fist that was hurting. However, the goat was too scared to move his fist from George's face. After all, if he did, that expression on that face would probably be too terrifying. George pressed his hand against that face. That fist.
You probably could get a testimony from my own classmates from school. Yes, I was an antisocial person. However, there's one more thing that they'll tell you. Something far more important.
George was only grabbing the goat's massive fist in his tiny hand. However, that fist was being crushed as though it had a vice around it. Even though the other hand was tiny, the goat couldn't even move its fist.
If Shiramiya George never fought for himself no matter what happened to him, he was the coward who ran away from all threats. Everyone will tell you that. However, what they won't tell you that he never got into a fight. I accepted the fact that someone as pathetic as me would be bullied. However, never have I let anyone provoke or challenge anyone who treated someone as pathetic as me like a friend.
Raw base Kino moment. Don't! Everybody's going Ultra Instinct!
The goat's broken teeth flew through the air. George's furious feet split the heavens.
Shannon approached George for his money and...
A goat's filthy finger touched Shannon's back. That finger exploded and boiled away.
But Jar-san is true and pure. Jar-san must have kept all the letters I wrote him. Read those and you'll have your proof.
You can write anything in a letter. The contents of a letter are no proof of true love.
A blazing red light charred the goat's entire body. Shannon slowly turned around, her face full of rage and contempt.
CG, 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 damn it!
Pitiful spectator, ignorant of love. You have no right to read a mystery, much less a person's heart. Disappear.
An absolute barrier rose up around Shannon, burning up the goats around her with its flames.
Yeah, maybe we are dead. But that doesn't give anyone the right to criticize us. No one can defy the love Maria and Mama shared.
Maria smiled, showing her teeth, and performed her job without even looking at her hands. Then she tossed the fully loaded rifle straight into the air.
Come and get some.
Rosa, who stood back to back with Maria, caught her without turning around. No, that wasn't all. Maria had passed the gun to her mother perfectly without even looking back. Rosa's head was pointed at the ground as she stroked the frigid trigger with her index finger.
If any of you doubt my love for my daughter, step forward.
The crowd of goats cowed by Rosa's furiosity didn't get any closer to her.
Then I'll deny it. Being the serial cheater you are, you were always off playing around with some man and leaving Maria all alone.
Nothing like that is written anywhere in Maria's diary.
You shouldn't have believed anyone else! Rosa didn't love you! She was a crabby mother who regretted even giving birth to you!
Erica was peering at the unfeeling moon, the taste of metal in her mouth. For a moment, she didn't realize what was happening. Was that cold feeling on her back the ground? Huh?
Why am I lying down? And wasn't the moon full? Why isn't it now? Come to think of it, my teeth hurt. There's something cold and hard there.
Then she figured it out. She was lying sprawled on the ground with a gun barrel shoved into her mouth. And the thing splitting the moon was the angry king of wolves protecting its child. The gun barrel exploded inside of her mouth, shattering her medulla oblongata. But it was only her afterimage.
What a terrifying woman you are. Are you really human?
Erica, who had escaped death at the last moment by leaving an afterimage, found a metallic flash right before her eyes that had been there even before she reappeared. The fountain pen went right through Erica's eye, crushing it! Of course, that was another afterimage. However, when Erica escaped and reappeared somewhere else, a heel was already there waiting for her. From the goat's perspective, several afterimages of Erica seemed to be appearing at once, all of which were pierced by Rosa at the exact same time.
say that again, I'll have to get serious.
Mama's really strong.
What the hell?
And so Erica couldn't reappear anymore. At the very least, not within Rosa's range of attack. Erica put a lot of distance between her and Rosa, reappearing in midair.
What are these people? What the hell?
Erica's animal instincts made her turn her head slightly to the side just in time. Where her head used to be, there was an odd shower of sparks. It wasn't magic. It was a real physical phenomenon created by lead smashing against lead. And the two bullets shot from different angles could have flown with impossible precision at where her head once was, so that both of them hit and bounced off each other like billiard balls.
Aw, so close.
Sorry about that. We're big fans of the whole take out the boss first strategy, you see.
Clay pigeons are a specialty. Flying alone in a straight line probably isn't a good idea.
The two of them spun their rifles in exactly the same way at the exact same time, reloading them in a manner that put old westerns to shame, then pointed them back up at where Erica was in the sky.
You monsters!
Once again, their accurate shots plunged to the forehead of Erica's afterimage, bouncing off each other like billiard balls with a shower of sparks. This time Erica appeared far behind them. She had to admit it. She had been forced to escape to a place outside the range of those guns fired by humans. Then the light from the moon was blocked. The place she had fled to so rapidly exploded, sending chunks of rubbish flying. A massive longsword plunged into the ground. It was Delanor's.
Oh. If it isn't my old friend!
She had dodged by a hair, but this bulky, brutal longsword was more of a cannonball shaped like a sword than something for cutting with. Even though she dodged it, the blast of air pressure made her eardrums throb. Delanor was serious. She seriously intended to smash Erica to bits.
What's with the scary face? Can't you try and act a bit, I don't know, cuter?
Do you find this enjoyable? Destroying people's dreams and illusions.
Of course it's enjoyable! What do you expect an intellectual rapist to do?
You are an evildoer. And yet I used to believe you were the sort of evil worthy of sympathy.
I never asked for your sympathy.
Not cutting you down immediately upon our meeting. That sin of mine is what brought this day to pass.
Delanor's hair bristled with rage.
Kick her ass!
This sight, this expression on one of her old friend of one of her old friends pinned Erica to the spot.
My friend, allow me to free you before you can suffer. I will not let you bear any further sins.
Well, wait.
The force of anger that welled from Delanor's whole body struck Erica. Rather, the swirl of blasting wind from Delanor's massive longsword sent her flying.
Run, bitch!
The cannonball with a blade repeatedly cracked the ground just after Erica leapt away. So it looked as though Erica was jumping backwards, smashing the earth beneath her with each jump.
Delanor.
Friend of mine. Rest in peace.
The great longsword split the air again, pulverizing the ground! However, this time Erica was nowhere to be seen. Where did she escape to? Erica had broken the barriers of the Golden Land, landing on a ship whose bow was barely in sight. Practically speaking, she had run away.
Coward!
Aware of this, Erica howled, her face contorted with humiliation. Her shoulders heaving with her breathing, and she even forgot to fix her hair. The scythe fell from her hand and landed with a clank to the floor. That sound brought her back to her senses.
Stupid goats! What are you standing around staring for? Open gun ports! Load constant negation explosive rounds! Disregard aiming procedures, just fire!
The warships that had flown into the Golden Land opened their gun ports one after another, and they fall fired at once in a scattered mess of cannonballs! The hundreds of explosive rounds they fired would negate the concept of anything or person they touched, smashing them into little bits and setting them ablaze with flames. The battlefield full of writhing ghosts became a fiery hell! A cannonball smashed the arbor. The once beautiful garden maze was burned down bit by bit, and the fleeing gold butterflies were wrapped in flames, burning into nothingness like little scraps of paper. There was no longer a battlefield where two sides fought for victory. It was just a confused, hellish pot of boiling water. The Golden Land was being torn apart. The once beautiful rose garden was filled with explosion craters, and its rose petals were scattered about with pity. There were flying bits of flesh, blood, fangs, and jaws. Shrieks and half-crazed screams. And even amidst the hellish swirl, the goats and the dead continued to fight. As seen from atop the boats, this was hell without a doubt.
All ships, drop anchors!
When Erica yelled, the goats and the boats ran about frantically, and one by one, massive anchors hanging from chains were thrown from the ship's bows down into the earth below. Those anchors smashed through not only the ground, but the bottom of the Golden Land itself, digging in with their wedge-shaped tips.
Erica!
Oh, Beatrice-san. This battle's so huge it had me worried. I thought I might not be able to find you before the whole thing ended.
Beatrice landed on the front tip of the warship, facing off against Erica, who stood on the bow.
You will not be forgiven, you coward. I'll finish you myself right here.
Beato jabbed with her pipe. It transformed into a beautifully intricate golden longsword.
Very well. That's just what I hoped for. Let's settle this!
Erica threw her scythe up into the air. When it returned to her hand, it became a sword similar to Beato's. The nearby goats crowded around Erica, trying to support her.
You stay out of this. I'll need to start lifting the anchors. Tear up the Golden Land by its roots!
Various goats. I don't know. Anybody?
Aye, aye, sir.
Aye, sir.
Aye, sir.
Aye, sir.
What's your model?
The goats bowed and rushed to their posts. Several dozen ships had lowered their anchors, digging into the base of the Golden Land. Soon they were going to try and pull them up, tearing the Golden Land to pieces.
Come, Erica! I'll give you the honor of my final duel!
Beato raised her sword, bowed in an ancient fashion, and waited for her opponent. Erica kicked off her shoes violently and slowly walked up to the tip of the boat barefoot. Then, in accordance with Beato's rules, she bowed back.
This is a miracle flight type shit!
It was a duel on the prow of a ship that pierced the sky. Below, the crowd of ghosts was being blasted away by the indiscriminate cannonballs, burned up and crushed in the panorama of this world's end. By now, it would be stupid to wonder whether anyone from the Ashurmia family was still all right. Yes, it truly was the end of this world. The end of the Golden Land. Ground to dust, filled with flames. The Golden Rose Garden was burning spectacularly, with bits of fire and golden splashes flying about. The ground creaked as fissures ran through it, to the base of the Golden Land. All the ships started pulling up their anchors at once. Crowds of mighty goats used all of their monstrous strength to lift them. The anchors that dug into the Golden Land's base spread cracks throughout the entire Golden Land. Not just the ground, but the air itself was filled with cracks, and shards of gold fell down everywhere. The Golden Land's end was adorned with the flames of hell, and streaking gold fragments with fiery red and ephemeral gold. Atop the boat's prow, Beato and Eric could look down on this, their swords crossed and sparks flying between them.
Now there's one hell of a sight to see. Don't you think it's fitting? The perfect final chapter for your tale.
The Golden Land may meet its end, and I may perish as well. However, no one can erase the fact that we were here. Angie reached the answer. The Witch of the Future has a hope and a mission, and will soon set off a new journey. We have already succeeded. Too bad for you, Furudo Erika. This battle ends with our victory.
This is a duel between the master of the illusion called the Golden Land and the witch who controlled truth. The earth split between them. The Golden Land was torn up. The cat box known as the Golden Land was ripped apart, and the nothingness below peeked out through the cracks. The scrambling crowd of goats fell through the gaps and were swallowed by the sea of nothingness. Beato's friends were among them. They helped each other, lent a hand to each other, unwilling to sacrifice anyone until the final moments. Still, what a romantic and fragile illusion is the end of the world. The ground shattered and sank. It fell apart into the ocean of nothingness. None could survive. None could be saved. This was destruction. As the comrades in arms fell into the sea of nothingness, they looked up one last time and prayed. They prayed that the master of the Golden Land would leave proof that the Golden Land had indeed existed. However, Beato didn't look down at them. They wouldn't have wanted it to.
This is our Golden Land. I am the Endless and Golden Witch Beatrice, and I am here. We may fall, but we will not be defeated. You shall become living proof. I'll carve the proof of our existence onto your chest!
So long, Beatrice! This marks the end of that stupid endless game! Fall into hell, you illusion!
Whew!
Oh god, I'm getting dizzy as fuck right now from all this.
Take a breather. Let me take a drink too. Ah, there we go. Lambda Delta and Burncastle's fight to the death had passed through its phase as a dynamic clash of fireworks, and was now a clash that was quiet and motionless. These two witches who possessed power on an entirely different level may have been truly equal in strength. The battle could only be resolved by mutual consent. If one of them lost interest or found some reason for wanting to lose, since both were putting all their all into the fight without yielding a bit, they were absolutely and completely equal.
Lambda Delta, I'm glad to have you as a friend.
Damn it. Just a bit longer. Just fall apart already, stupid magic circle! Battler got irritated and punched the magic circle, but there was nothing he could do except continue to watch over it. After all, the only way to dissolve it was by waiting. However, the pair of them still felt relief, if only a little. Lambda Delta really was strong. Even in a battle that this spectacular, she fought on an even footing. No, if you considered how confident each side looked, she seemed to have a slight advantage in Battler's eyes. She'd probably manage to buy them enough time, and she would take the key and return to the Golden Land. They just had to endure a bit longer. However, they had no way of knowing what Lambda Delta's fate would be after this. She had disobeyed the Senate, the highest level witches in existence. Something brutal probably awaited her. However, even knowing this, Angie had to step forward into the future, without looking back. That was the single duty given to her, the Witch of the Future.
Oni-chan, what's that? Something's coming toward us from a long way away.
Huh? Crap. Are they enemy reinforcements? Lambda Delta and Burncastle were glaring at each other, so they didn't notice. Heading toward them from the distance were several emerald green glints. The light proved that they were enemies.
But there's only a few of them. They won't be a match for Lambda Delta.
All of the cats so far seem like fish in a school, giving the impression that they'd be terrified as a group, but not much of a problem by themselves. However, there was something different about the lights approaching them now. They were approaching in a beautiful, ordered formation, like a constellation. Battler quickly realized that this was something new.
My Miko. Isn't it about time to prepare the key?
Just by her tone, Battler was able to tell how great a witch this was. The black cats that surrounded her in a graceful and systemic constellation were all wearing large capes with elegant designs. It looked as though great overlords from many worlds had been transformed into cats, leaving only their capes untouched. What Battler imagined was quite true. That was exactly what had happened. These were the overlords from many worlds that formed Featherin's personal guard. Their bodies took the form of cats merely as a sign of respect to their master, who took the form of a human. These were entirely different from the pack of wild cats that served Burncastle.
Aurora. Oh, is it that time already?
When holding a party, it's important to keep your guests waiting for a fitting amount of time. It is, however, not something I'm particularly fond of.
As she said this, her eyes flicked to Lambda Delta. The latter bowed hurriedly. Lambda Delta grinned. She was also sweating, her brow furrowed with tension.
How long has it been, Lady Lambda Delta? It's a pleasure to see you, great Lady Aurora. This is no place to entertain one of your position. Did you get lost on the way to the party? If so, allow me to guide you there myself. That would be an honor, great Lady Aurora.
Featherin Augustus Aurora, the legendary Great Witch. It said that she surpassed the level of witches, becoming a creator, and that, upon reaching this forbidden plane, she was cursed with a deadly ailment. However, in life she once turned her pet cat into a witch. They say that the second witch wanders the sea of fragments endlessly, searching for any fragment that can revive her master from the pits of death called boredom, if only for a moment. And so, the cat revived her master. Revived the sacred witch who had reached heights none should reach. Just as witches look down at and mock humans from a higher world, calling them pieces on a game board. So she looks down at and mocks the realm of witches from an even higher world, calling them pieces on a game board. If a witch's strength is measured by the heights of the world they are capable of reaching, then she was like a witch come back from the realm of the gods, one who had touched the highest forbidden heights and survived. Was there any chance of winning against her? No. Lambda Delta was unable to choose either victory or defeat by her own will.
My Miko. Would you mind playing with your friend some other time and getting back to work now? Prepare the key.
Okay.
In the simple, naive way cats forget their errand partway through is their true charm. Don't you think so, Lady Lambda Delta?
Lambda Delta didn't say anything, but hung her head low. From this position, it seemed that the key's seal would dissolve at any second. However, Burncastle would probably find Battler and Angie before that. Once they got their hands on the key, they could leave this place immediately. Of course, this is assuming that they did so before Burncastle and Featherin found them. You? It's Lambda.
Sorry.
Fine.
Burncastle mustn't be allowed to move from the spot.
Looks like game over, Lambda. I am the Miko of the Great Witch Aurora. You haven't forgotten that the Witch of Theater-going bestows her protection upon her reader Mikos, have you?
Lambda Delta still stood slumped over without answering. The Witch of Theater-going gave protection to her reader Mikos. If Lambda Delta attacked Burncastle, who was Aurora's Miko, then the Great Witch Aurora would follow her contract, prevent what she considered an attack against herself, and respond accordingly.
Let's make a deal.
What kind of deal?
Where is Battler hiding? If you come clean, we'll let all of this slide.
Is the Witch of Miracles afraid of a tiny little piece like Battler?
It's because I'm the Witch of Miracles. I'll never forget that even a little pebble like him is capable of creating a miracle.
After all, there's a little pebble who got super promoted into the Witch of Miracles.
I'll ask one more time. Where is Battler? Too bad, Lambda. It looks like that's your answer.
Burncastle turned her back on Lambda Delta. Then she told her master that she was leaving to prepare the key, and started swimming towards the key room.
If I let her go any further, she'll find Battler and Angie.
Battler readied himself. This time it was his turn to become a sacrifice. Even though he was nothing more than a single pebble, he could still put out an eye. A candy firework exploded right in front of Burncastle.
Lambda. You really are a moron.
Lambda Delta!
Now I've done it. Battler, Angie. The rest is up to you.
The Cat Overlords changed their formation, becoming a ferocious constellation that surrounded Featherin. Then each drew the most terrifying of magic circles from their respective worlds and began to chant.
I am slightly confused. Both of you, my Miko and Lady Lambda Delta. What sort of sideshow is this?
It looks like Lambda wants to stop me from going to get the key.
Huh. And what would the point of that be, I wonder? If you still don't get the point, then you must be getting a bit tipsy, Featherin. Looks like you need to pick me up.
I'm able to bluff as well as she could. Her fingertips were starting to get shaky.
An attack against my Miko is considered to be attack against her master. You should know this well as anyone, correct? I know it. Going by that rule, looks like the two of us are gonna have to fight. Oh? Have I, or my Miko, caused insult in any way? If so, then please accept my apologies. But could you tell me one thing? I didn't think you had a Miko at the moment. How long have you had one? As for that, I've got 10 of them already. 30 or 40, I think. Maybe even more. I, Lambda Delta, will handle any fight picked against one of my Mikos, no matter who the opponent is. All of them are certain that a happy ending will come. And as the Witch of Certainty, I can't abandon people who worked hard and believe with certainty like that. I can't say I dislike this tale of yours. And be worthy of my viewing. However, I'm not a spectator at the moment, but a performer. I know that you are Umineko's closest friend, so I will give you one warning. Remove yourself from this stage. I will prepare a special seat for you in my audience seating. I've been thinking about which is more interesting, your tale or the one I've been watching. And your conclusion? Battler's tale is 100 times better. Sorry, but I'm getting Best Supporting Actress this year. Hey, you guys! You better vote for me in the last character popularity contest, okay? At least get me in the top 5, got it?
You heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks. Lambda has to be in your top 5 no matter what.
No matter what.
If
You're already
Lambda is
there,
not in
you're
your top
there.
5, you will be shunned.
I mean, Hideyoshi's pretty good, and Nando's also really good.
Top 5 at most.
You know, I really am
least.
digging Rosa Umineko.
Who are you talking to? I'm also gonna check on my nephew really quickly, 1 second.
As I'm not prepared to joke around. She calmly focused on the one weak point she could see. If she had a chance for a single attack, then a 1 in a billion shot at victory existed. There was the horseshoe-shaped memory device floating around Feathering's head. Without that, she couldn't preserve her own existence. Destroying it was impossible. If Lambda Delta could jar it enough, she might be able to make it bug out. At least once in the past, Feathering's memory device had been damaged, and her personality and appearance had changed. However, she was aware of that herself, and probably wouldn't let that happen again no matter what.
Very well, Lady Lambda Delta. When you've finished your script, feel free to send it in whenever you wish. The script is simple. Just one line. The fantastic, cute Lambda Delta-sama took out the evil mastermind Aurora in a single shot.
Oh yeah, shit. Zaz, you're up.
Please no.
No, that's fine. We can wait.
Foolishness.
I just have all the energy. Like, every time I've read Umineko for the past fucking my lifetime, I get so hyped.
Yeah.
This fucking episode's so good.
It's so good.
It isn't
despite its
even the
flaws.
best version of the episode, but it's still fucking sick as shit.
Yeah.
Well, while we wait for
time, how many times have you read Umineko? B?
So, I mean, I'm nearing, my 30s, and I originally read Umineko when I was, like, 13.
Dang.
So, just account for, like, 10 years of rereading Umineko.
See?
Well, while Khan is gone, I'm gonna bathroom. BRB.
Well, you see,
is
AC, what you're missing is it's me rereading it, and then also me getting others to read it, thus rereading it again. You know.
While
you
it's
know.
done, be sure to get your character rating charts.
So you're
And
not
be sure to put
denying-
Lambda Delta in spot 5.
So
at
B,
the
you're
very
not denying the fact that you read it anally.
Annually, anally, whichever.
Top 5 at the least, number 1 at the most.
If you want to put them number 0, that's your pejorative. I can't argue with that.
I can show the top of my tier list now. I've got Peak and then Lambda.
Yeah! Yeah!
If I can find mine.
Lambda deserves her own tier. She's the GOAT. And that Rosa scene always gets me so hype.
Yeah.
God.
The cold steel in her mouth.
The fact that the music just cuts out and changes to the executioner right when Erica's like, yeah, you don't love Maria.
Oh, it's so sick.
So good.
Never doubt.
And then episode 8's manga art is just.
Yeah.
Look at it.
That's the one with Angie's ass, though. That one's kind of weird.
Listen, we don't talk about the cover. I'm just talking about the contents.
Okay,
The one
fair
he
enough.
says.
Are there more Angie ass? I mean, there's definitely more Angie ass shots, but that's the one I know of.
I mean, yeah, because Natsumi K is
some-
all about shit like that, bro.
What do you
I'm not even
mean?
gonna
Of
hold
course
you.
there are.
Is Burn Castle in the Flower episode 7 or 8?
Say, there's also the one of Lambda and Burn that I'm not gonna post. One of you can if you want.
Alright, I'm back.
Damn, Khan's cousin got hands.
Wait, they're fighting? What happened?
No, I mean, like, it's just taking a while.
Oh.
They are a baby, right?
Would you like to give a time
Babies are
limit?
pretty strong.
We'll give it a little bit more, and if we fucking need to go, we'll keep it going.
You know, AC, the thing that you're forgetting is that anyone can truly read the Saga Song of Beaglesaurus, a wackadoo madcap adventure about the world's
Oh
coolest
my
cyborg, kick-flipping through such
Never
problems
ends.
as purest girlfriend, the politics of
ends.
space ducks, the aftermath of the destruction of the internet, and at least 4 corrupt governments run by overpowered celebrity guest stars.
Holy shit, 4.
And
That's
Noir
right.
does Lambda show up.
Maybe time for a
No.
sequel noir for Lambda to
But
show up
maybe
in.
she should.
There you go.
Look on the bright side, this will probably be the last time in Umineko he'll be able to do this. That Fada though, like first
There's
episode
no way
Fada.
to be able to do it with anything else at all, ever. There will never be downtime in any other playthrough.
I'm saying in Umineko
It could never
specifically. Umineko specifically.
Aren't we still going through like Saga? I mean, not Saga. I mean,
Saku.
what's it called? Satsu.
Saku.
Saku.
Oh.
Yes.
Good old Umineko Sotsu.
There is
I'm
not
back.
enough Umineko Satsu to go around. Anyways, say the funny Virgil line, Con.
Foolish Lambda. I never realized how stupid you were.
Oh wait, yeah, Saku Sega Rush.
The cats need not interfere. I will personally reward Lady Lambda Delta for the courageous tale she has submitted. You will be granted a fitting tale and a fitting ending for your bravery. Featherin, Augustus, Aurora!
Lamdelta summoned magical power from her whole body and raised it in a mass above her head.
Forgive me, but
Then the world's time stopped.
Tochiro Tomare.
your script will not be used. After all,
Rather than time stopping, it was more like the flipping pages of a book had stopped. In this motionless world, closely packed letters appeared.
the one writing the rest of the script is me.
It was a tale that had been written up to this very moment. How do you want to read this?
Read it as text, it's just text.
Oh, yeah, sure, alright, yeah. Well, this is like her writing the thing, so I mean, I don't know.
Oh, alright. Lambda Delta summoned magical power from her whole body and raised it in a mass above her head.
That was where the paragraph ended. In this frozen world, Brethren sat with their arms crossed.
How troublesome. It's been so long since I've written a fight scene. How annoying to have to suddenly write up a development like this out of the blue. When I get stuck writing, I try to write in reverse. In other words, instead of starting at the beginning, I start at the end and go backwards from there. That way it'll be easier to set up foreshadowing and I can write the rest of the story with my vision for the end in mind. The only downside is that I have to suddenly start at the climax without setting up the story first. In the meantime, I'll start at the end of the fight and go back from there. Lady Lambda Delta, this is where you lose to me and die.
As Featherin said this, words were added to the massive group of letters that filled the frozen world. However, she was starting from the end, so there was a large gap between the new words and the old ones.
So, how will you lose to me? You should probably have a heroic end to suit your bravery. How about this? Lambda Delta gets blasted away by something slammed against the bookshelf, and her limbs are snapped off as she dies and disappears into the darkness below. Yes. Quite a flashy way to go. Good. For now, that's how your final moments will be.
The blanks in the outline Featherin spoke of were being filled up. At the same time, Lambda Delta's figure was wiped out. After crossing her arms and thinking again, Featherin pointed in a random direction. Lambda Delta appeared, blasted away by something, and slammed a spread eagle against the bookshelf Featherin had pointed at.
Well now, I must write up the fierce battle that leads to this end. But as you can probably tell, I'm a little tipsy at the moment. I'll fill that part in later when I have some time to go over it nice and slowly. For now, let me off with this. I promise to add in a heroic fight to your liking later on.
Featherin snapped her fingers. Lambda Delta had no idea what was going on. Before she could even blink, she was suddenly here, being slammed against the bookshelf.
What is this?
She couldn't comprehend the something that Featherin had killed her with. However, that was only natural. After all, Featherin herself hadn't decided what the something was. However, Lambda Delta did understand one thing. She was already dead. Streams of blood dripped from the corners of her mouth. Then lines of blood appeared on her wrists and ankles, her elbows and knees. She looked like a marionette doll of herself, and her strings had been cut.
What killed me? Precisely, Lady Lambda Delta. Let me know if you have any good ideas. You monster.
Still pinned against the bookshelf, Lambda Delta let her head slump. Her wrists, ankles, legs, arms, and neck. Each split into separate parts, and the marionette shaped like her lost its strings, falling in pieces into the depths below. Nothing remained. Fuck, it's all swallowed up by the darkness beneath them.
A monster, she says. And quite a compliment for one such as I.
Lambda Delta.
Angie, don't look! You can't look! Shedding frustrated tears, Angie closed her eyes tight. She must not look. The Witch of the Future must not accept Lambda Delta's defeat. She hasn't kicked it yet! She was brave, and that's all we need to know!
I know, Lambda Delta would never lose.
At that moment, there was a slight sound, and the golden key that hung in the air shook. The seal had finally broken. Battler grabbed it immediately. However, at the exact same moment, a magical tremor spread throughout the vast key room.
What?
That tremor seemed to have shaken something inside.
The tremor seemed to have shaken something inside my pocket. I stuck my hand in and found that the fragment Lambda Delta had given to us to return to the Golden Land had shattered.
Damn it! Lambda's fragment is...
You were so close, too. Now, there's nowhere to run. Burn Castell. If Lambda had been a little cleverer, she probably could have bought you 5 more seconds. Then you would have taken that key and escaped to the Golden Land. Looks like the Miko suffers too when their master is a fool.
Oh.
Feathern quietly showed her surprise. To truly surprise her was no easy task. The Witch of Miracles, who boasts that no one could even step on her shadow unless she wished it, fell! After taking Balor's right fist to her face, she fell.
Fucking let's go!
Burncastle's body immediately split into dust and reconstructed itself in front of Battler, as though nothing had happened. However, she was holding her cheek. She couldn't undo the fact that she had been hit. For the first time in 100 years, she had let someone tread on her shadow without her consent. Her face was gradually filled with shock, and Battler's, it couldn't be seen. His outstretched right arm was blocking it, so his expression couldn't be seen.
What?
Take it back.
Take what back?
She didn't let the next strike hit her. Burncastle vanished like mist and reappeared a short distance away. However, Battler only missed by a hair's breadth. Not because she'd intentionally made that happen, but for real. It's Last End Conductor, by the way.
It hurts! It hurts! It hurts!
Finally, she began to feel the pain of being punched in the face. For too many years, she had forgotten the very concept of pain. Very slowly, it was coming back to her.
It hurts! It hurts! It hurts!
Burncastle writhed in anguish, holding her cheek. That feeling, forgotten for centuries, seemed to be hitting home hard. Battler looked at her. Their eyes met. Once again, Burncastle remembered the emotion she had forgotten for hundreds of years. Does it hurt? The pain you cause by ridiculing my friend is greater than that! And then she shuddered. What Battler saw before his eyes was Burncastle shuddering for the first time in centuries. To Burncastle's eyes, it didn't even look like Battler rushing at her and punching. It was as though she had been sucked towards where she stood with his furious fist raised. When her eyes had opened wide with terror, Battler's massive fist had been all that she could see. Of course, he wasn't capable of hitting her. Burncastle was like a shadow. True, trying to hit Burn was like enviously trying to hit the reflection of a moon on the water with a stone. No matter how often you hit it, you can never smash the moon's reflection. However, Battler hit it, again and again, over and over, to prevent the moon from showing on the water's surface again. A fiercely thrown pebble sent ripples across the water's surface, and broke through the moon's reflection, broke through the water's surface itself, leaving only the bottom of the pond bare, breaking through everything. His certain willpower broke through to a miracle. backwards kick that Battler shot out without even looking behind him split through empty space. In that space, Burncastle reappeared with a foot in her gut. Take back your insults against our brave friend! The Witch of Miracles fell. For the second time, she fell. Once it would have been a miracle. Things that happen more than once aren't miracles anymore. Burncastle understood. Battler was capable of hitting her. Then she fell, was slammed against the floor, got up on her hands and knees and vomited. She threw up violently over and over. Her face was covered with pain and vomit and tears and snot. And she looked up at Battler with a furious expression and howled! And she wasn't howling at Battler.
Aurora! Your Miko is getting beaten up. What are you standing around watching for? Take him out!
Forgive me, but I'm busy writing Lady Lambda Delta's final moments right now. I cannot come to your aid. Why don't you all give her a hand?
Featherin's guard, the cat overlords, now formed a different constellation. Then each drew a magic circle and began chanting.
You know what? Each one of these cats is the final form of a main character, each from a game like yours. Every one acted the main part in their heroic tale, and a story their bravery was given honor, allowing them to become Aurora's guards. Each one fought for the very existence of their country, their planet, their universe. What about you? At best, you've just been playing around with your little sister and some imaginary witch. These main characters are on a totally different level from you. Eat this and die! Take it to the gut, scum! Oh, Oni-chan!
There are many spectacular magical spells depicted at the beginning of a universe, the creation of planets, the destruction, and the universe's end, all in an instant. After that, not a speck of dust should have remained. However, when the smoke cleared, there was a person standing there. It stood there, with its hands in its pockets, and its head hanging quietly. Its face was in the shadows and couldn't be seen.
Oni-chan. What the hell?
Ballard seemed to be completely uninjured. Not only were his clothes not burnt, but his hair hadn't even been disturbed.
What the hell? Stupid cats! That didn't work at all?
The cat overlords suddenly shook their heads, sending a short report to their master.
Endless 9.
What did you say?
It seems that no one can interfere with their tale. Forgive me, my Miko. It would appear that the cats have reached their limit.
And you called yourselves overlords of many worlds? Weren't all once main characters on different game boards? And this is the best you can do? Ugh, you're pathetic.
The cats knew, from the very beginning. They knew that they wouldn't be able to do anything with him as the main character of this game board.
My Miko. Creating a tale on the game board is a privilege granted only to the game master. That has already been established, so I must respect that rule, being the mere writer that I am. I shall return to my position as the spectator.
You useless master!
Battler. I apologize for the insult your friend suffered at the hands of my Miko. And I see that the right to weave Sorry.
Fine, no problem.
And I see that the right to weave your game belongs to you, the Game Master. You shall weave your own game. That is as it should be. However, my Miko is now a Game Master in your game. It seems that the two of you opened the game board at the same time. It is rare to have two masters for a single game, but this miracle pleases me. After all, I can rest assured that this will make for a proper final game for you both.
Stand down. Burn Castle.
I see. So, you're saying that if two game masters are going to fight, they have to do it by the rules of the game. Why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Burncastle slowly got to her feet and made her body melt away like mist. Then she appeared in the air once again, facing Battler.
Very well. I'll fight by the rules of your game board. However, I'm not as easygoing as you all are, so I'll start with a short-tempered, overwhelming puzzle and end this in an instant. Who will be my opponent? I don't mind if you both take me on at once.
Oni-chan, I'll fight too.
Stay back.
Why?
Watch from there. And this time, understand what I wanted to teach you.
Oni-chan. Are you happy with this, Aurora?
I shall be your witness. If you defeat my Miko, I promise to return you all to the Golden Land.
Assuming the Golden Land still exists, that is.
I believe in them.
That's right. Beato and all the others won't lose.
In that case, we better start with the bad news. Erica, you can make your report now. Come.
When Burncastle snapped her fingers, Erica appeared with a bow.
Pardon me for this silly interruption, my master.
Sorry, Erica. How inconsiderate of me to keep you waiting when you came bearing good news.
No problem. Rejoice, my master. I have come to inform you of the complete destruction of the Golden Land.
Liar!
The Golden Land has been totally destroyed. I'm here to report that it's collapsed and fallen into the sea of nothingness. Not just the humans, but the illusions as well have been completely annihilated.
Liar! I won't believe it.
Then allow me to make you believe it. Take this, my master!
Erica humbly presented an object wrapped in cloth. It shone with a golden light.
What's this? A golden apple.
This is the heart of Beatrice, master of the Golden Land.
Beato.
Burncastle pinched it between two fingers, held it aloft, and gazed at it.
Even like this, it's still beating. You're so cute, Beatrice. The game board that you are might be opened again. The game board that you are... I'm sorry, that sentence just feels grammatically incorrect to me.
Okay, it's fine. Just keep going.
The game board that you are might be opened again by someone You still believe that, don't you?
It's okay, Oni-chan. We didn't see Byato get defeated. This is some sort of trick they're using on us. A trick to make us lose our morale. Or maybe it's a trick of Byato's? She changed herself to pretend that she's been defeated. There's no way that Beatrice, that everyone, that the Golden Lake could be destroyed.
That's true. If the Witch of the Future believes that, you might be able to make it so. So, let me show you. Look closely, Witch of the Future from 1998.
Burn casts a golden heart into the air like an apple. Then, with the blood-red blade of the scythe that appeared in her hand, she split it.
Beatrice died in October of 1986. Therefore, the Golden Land she created was completely destroyed. Your family that was kept alive in the Golden Land was destroyed along with it. Your father, mother, and of course Battler will never return to you again, and will never speak your name again. The Witch of the Future has the power to interpret things how she pleases and overwrite what happened. However, there is just one fact that she can't overwrite, no matter how much she struggles. And that is death. You cannot overcome any concept of death, be it physical or mental. It is the single blade of truth with which witches of the past can strike down witches of the future.
Hang in there, Angie!
But...
You just had to accept it, didn't you? You just had to live on even if no one came back alive, didn't you?
I know, but... What?
Even so, a tiny sliver of hope had remained inside Angie's heart. Despite everything, if she was favored by some miracle, maybe someone would come home after all. It doesn't matter when. It could be 10 years later or 50 years later. Back to you, Gon.
It doesn't matter even if they've forgotten my face. I believe that someone might come back someday. And I decided to live with that tiny hope in my heart. Even though I accepted everyone's death, even though I saw it in the Book of the Single Truth, I still thought that it wouldn't be so bad to believe in a miracle. Just a little. A miracle you believe in, even though you know it won't happen, is hope. So the witch who knew that miracles don't occur had ruthlessly torn that hope away.
Don't cry.
I know. But...
Even the big brother you're crying to right now is already dead.
Oni-chan isn't dead. He's right here. Right here.
Don't cry, Angie.
But...
Don't cry! At Battler's shout, Angie bit back her tears. Why? Why does it matter? What do we of the past mean to you, living in the future? Angie, what sort of witch were you? Whether we're alive or dead means nothing to you.
That's not true. I want you to live.
That's not it! You can go beyond life and death, right? Angie didn't understand what he was telling her. So, stunned into silence, she frantically considered what her brother might be trying to say. Battler slowly lifted his face and stared at Bernkastel. And you aren't a witch. You're a reaper.
That's right. I have the sickle that reaps all hopes and miracles. So, I must be what you say.
You're a reaper. Stole away the hope that kept Angie alive. And lured her towards her death. You're the one who threw about truths of the past, stealing the future from Angie's eyes, and forcing her to look only at the past. And you're the one who threw the hope-crushing single truth in front of her, gently pushing her from behind as she, of her own accord, took that step from the skyscraper's roof off into the world of nothingness. But now, I'll free Angie from the spell that you represent. Angie won't be trapped by the curse of the past anymore. She'll step forward, into the future, but not into the emptiness of the abyss that you're trying to lure her into. Angie will live strong in the future starting in 1998.
Humans are wretched creatures who walk into the future while staring back into the past. That's why she'll easily plummet into pitfalls and flip over like comical fools.
Come, Bernkastel! A witch of the past like you can't block the radiance of the future!
Yes, let's go. Let's follow the rules of your game. I'll give you some closed room riddles. But since I'm short-tempered, heavy-handed, and easily bored, I'll give you all of them at once.
Bernkastel spread her hands, and it seemed as though a halo or angel wings were spreading out behind her, each of the countless rays that spread out from her, with the blue streaks of closed-room mystery blades. Bernkastel, who had traveled over the sea of fragments for many, many years, had gathered these countless closed-room mysteries as souvenirs from all over the place. All of those rays twisted at once and aimed toward Battler. It was as though infinite giant snakes had turned their heads to stare at him.
If you fail to shoot down even a single puzzle, then this is goodbye. I'm not as forgiving as Beato, who gave you until October 5th at midnight to give you your answer. If you don't answer immediately, you'll die.
In other words, this was no mystery. It was an intellectual game, but a merciless assault.
Die.
All at once, hundreds of guided lasers known as mysteries shot at Battler. The complex geometric figure drawn by those blue lasers was nothing but divinely beautiful. Each one was a mystery. Trying to solve each one in this oppressive hailstorm would be like threading a storm of approaching needles. Battler flew freely through the vast space, dodging the beautiful blue streak of mystery as he shot them down one after another. The entirety of the mystery knowledge he had built up before this day told him the answer to each puzzle. Each time his eyes glowed with the answer, one of the mysteries shattered. However, each mystery is only one out of hundreds. These hardly rose to the level of opposition or resistance.
Only-chan, it's impossible. Run!
There is no unsolvable mystery. Just like there is no inescapable fate.
Only-chan.
Watch, Angie. Don't miss what I'm about to show you. What I'm trying to show you. By now, the bundle of mysteries looked like one giant snake with blue streaming behind it. Battler skillfully dodged it, precisely splitting its many fangs off one by one. Even though he knew his resistance was useless, like trying to pick up all the grains of sand on a beach one by one.
Not bad. Classic mysteries were your specialty, right? Then what about twists on the genre? Let's see if you can handle more and more mysteries from all times and places.
Even though Battler was still fighting the giant snake, wings appeared behind Burn once more. And they gave birth to 7 more huge snakes. And that looked like a great dragon with 7 heads.
Ushiromiya Battler. It's true that you're a very avid reader and an expert on the mystery genre. But you're still young. There's a limit to how many books and mysteries you could have read. Learn that this world is filled with countless riddles and tricks that you've never heard of. Oni-chan! You can't do this anymore! Please, just run away! You can't beat Burnkastel!
Rattler's expression remained calm. However, his whole body was covered with sweat, and he was breathing hard. It's clear that he couldn't overcome this onslaught, though Battler himself refused to admit it. Battler blew his sweat, and fixed his gaze on the 8 snake heads that surrounded him in 3 dimensions. Angie, you believed that someone from your family would come back home someday. You lived that way for 12 years, and then lost your spirit. For a time you surrendered to the miracle that refused to happen.
That's...
In that case, if I want to see you off as you try and step forward into the future, I mustn't surrender to a miracle myself.
That's right. But I'll still harvest your miracles and hopes. All of them, without mercy.
It was now an 8-headed dragon that opened its 8 jaws. It looked for a weak point from all angles, hoping to swallow Battler in a single gulp. He wouldn't be able to dodge any longer.
Angie-san, if you're expecting a miracle, then I have some bad news for you. Beto has now been completely destroyed. It's even been unannounced in red. You know what that means? Since Beto has been destroyed, the Golden Land has been destroyed as well. That means that everyone has vanished. In other words, you no longer have any friends who can conveniently show up and save you from this pinch.
Beto has been destroyed, and that's been confirmed in red. Therefore, no one else could come to rescue them. Even Ava was resident of the Golden Land. After bravely breaking the key's seal earlier on, she had probably hidden away somewhere. However, now that Beato had been destroyed, all the residents of the Golden Land had met the same fate as ice under the sun. Any faint hopes that Angie might have had that Ava was hiding in the shadows, ready to save them from this final pinch, had been completely crushed from the moment Burncastle smashed that golden heart. There was no one left to save them from this crisis. She couldn't hope for the appearance of any new factor that might save her brother. And what about Angie herself? She could only watch from where she stood.
If I help, will I be able to bring about some kind of miracle? But I don't know that much about the mystery genre. I've only watched Beato's game fragments, gathering some basic training on how to fight. At best, I can avoid slowing him down, but I can't protect my brother. But I can't just watch. Oni-chan! Let me fight too!
Stay back! Just keep watching and think.
Think about what?
Go back to how you felt at the very beginning. Back when you were 6 years old when it all started.
How I felt when I was 6.
You've lived for 12 years looking for the truth. But that's not your real greatest wish.
My greatest wish.
Prepare this final game. Protect that wish and that hope. Unfortunately, you've wasted that chance. So you have to abandon that hope as you step forward into the future. But even so, if there's strength in your heart, you can still have it.
Have what?
Remember, your very first wish. Even after learning the single truth, remember.
The single truth. Even after learning the heartless truth that everyone is dead and no one will come home. Remember.
Remember your very first wish.
Oni-chan!
There was a cataclysmic flash as brilliant as the birth of a sun. All the palely glowing snakes ran through Battler. He was stained red, surrounded with a cloud of blood. Then he stumbled, and in the end he looked at Angie. Angie couldn't say anything in response. The light in Battler's eyes faded, and slowly, his body began to fall. It reached the ground, and gently landed like something settling on the ocean floor. Angie rushed towards him, saw the last expression that would ever cross her dead brother's face. His eyes were opened wide, filled with an unwavering determination until the very last second. Was Angie-san ever that good at mysteries?
She's nothing compared to Battler.
The waving snakes raised their heads and surrounded Angie. Angie had no blades to fight with. She only clung to her brother's dead face, saying his name over and over.
This is a surprisingly boring ending. I guess that's checkmate.
The 8 snakeheads all attacked at once. Angie held her brother's dead face, thinking about his final words.
My very first wish. It could only be one thing. That everyone would come home. That fueled my life for 12 years, until I finally wore out and abandoned my own hope. In exchange for the hope I'd abandoned, I began searching for the truth. Then at the end of that truth, I was forced to see a brutal ruthlessness that I didn't need to know about. And as a result, I was faced with the true despair of knowing that no one would come home. That final hope, which I still felt attached to even after abandoning it, was crushed. The single truth. If only I didn't know that, I might still be able to hold on to that faint hope. But now,
You can still have it. If there's strength in your heart, you can still have it. Remember, your very first wish. Battler was coughing. Impossible. His whole body had been pierced and he'd been completely dead. For him to cough would be too much of a miracle to be possible.
What? Why? Battler died. So why? Why was he revived?
Battler rose to his feet slowly. Though blood still dribbled from his mouth, his expression was fearless. However, Angie didn't stand up. She kept sitting, her head lowered. Well, that was a nice warm-up. Shall we get started? Burn Castell? Time for round 2!
What in the... Why? My master? The dead can't revive!
Impossible. Battler is dead. How can he revive? Oni-chan is alive. I've used the red truth. I've announced that Battler died, right? So why? How did he come back to life? Even if the whole world says he died, I'll be the one person in the world who believes. Oni-chan is alive, and someday he'll come back to me.
That's right. As long as you hold on to that hope, none of your miracles will ever be destroyed.
How dare you stand before the Witch of Miracles and claim to understand them! Swallow them. Grind them up. Erase both siblings now!
You can't erase us.
1, 2, 3.
Even if the whole world refuses to accept it, miracles will happen if we continue to believe!
9 out of 10.
Did the voice acting turn on just for that?
Oh yeah, so I think, hold on a second. So I was experimenting with something, and I think this confirmed the thing that I was right about. So what I did was, I went in and I disabled everybody's voice except for this.
Yeah, you can disable them individually?
Yep. So I guess that's like universal lines that don't get attributed to a specific person, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that off for right now. The
How was that, though?
What?
Oh, you did good enough.
You did good, yeah. The 8 wriggling snakeheads transformed into a massive whale jaw and swallowed everything. Sorry.
Well, there will be no miracle. You can't open your heart to anyone who exists. So die!
You're wrong.
Everyone will protect me.
The cruel whale of mystery that tried to swallow everything was gouged deeply by a massive wedge. This deeply pounded wedge could only be used by those who had talent and a deep love for mysteries.
The trick's such a cliche. I read and got bored of that one ages ago.
The woman who stood back to back with Battler launching stakes was very, very clearly...
Beato? How? I announced your death with the red truth. And what is this red truth of yours?
Even the red truth is a dog.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine.
The red truth is absolute. A perfect truth, which no one can turn, no matter how hard they try. Even if the whole world gets together and denies the truth about my family, even if that's forced in front of my eyes as the single truth, I won't acknowledge it. After all.
Angie slowly rose to her feet. Around her, the shapes of people slowly appeared, and they also rose to their feet. One after another, a whole crowd of them. They were Angie's family, her relatives, everyone from Rokenjima. That wasn't all. Everyone from the Golden Land and all the illusions appeared and followed Angie's lead. Following Angie's lead, they rose to their feet. Then all of them glared at Burn Castle.
Even if the whole world denies my hope, I won't abandon it. I won't abandon my certain hope that everyone's alive. And I found something. I found how I'll live as a witch.
You? Weren't you just a witch of the future? Just a powerless witch who could only shed tears of regret for the past!
I'm the Golden Witch, Angie Beatrice. I am the Golden, the Endless, and the Witch of Resurrection.
You found it, haven't you, Angie?
Yeah. Thanks, One-chan. After all those long years, I finally found it.
I always knew you'd be able to find it.
Thanks, Oni-chan. I've understood what your last game's trying to show me. Disappear, stupid delusions! I can't. I can't accept something like this! Everyone will be with me for eternity. No matter how many times people try to kill them with the red truth, I'll reject it. Everyone will be revived for me no matter how many times it takes. I am Angie, Witch of Resurrection. Your red truth can't lay a finger on my world.
Angie, or rather, Angie and her family, and her friends all fired off golden streaks at once. They were the same as the marks left by Burncastle's great snakes. However, the glow inside these was gold. Then they wriggled, combined into one single mass and transformed into an eagle that now had 2 wings. Yeah! It wasn't one-winged anymore. Thanks to Angie's absolute willpower, the golden eagle had gained the wing it needed to fly into the future. Those spread wings made Burncastle and the whale shrink back.
That's not an eagle, that's a phoenix!
The Assure Me eagle never looks back.
And it never gives up.
The golden eagle easily swallowed the blue whale with its wings, grinding it to bits. And it didn't let the whale's master escape either. It was now Burncastle's turn to run. Burncastle didn't fight the golden eagle. She couldn't. In this world of Angie's, where even the red truth couldn't hurt anyone, what sort of attack could affect her? She frantically ran this way and that, throwing one wedge of red truth after another at the Ashurmiya family.
Ushiromiya Kinzo is dead! Ushiromiya Kraus is dead! Ushiromiya Natsuhi is dead!
She repeated this over and over again, but no one fell down. Angie wouldn't accept it, so they couldn't pierce anyone.
Is this Sword of Endless Nine even possible? Even the Red Truth doesn't work? Just what is this Golden Truth? What kind of Gold Truth could defeat Red Truth? A believing heart. This is our consensus. Your Red Truth can't pierce any part of the truth that we all acknowledge and share.
So long, Berncastle! This time, it's really checkmate!
I won't accept something like this. I won't! Yeah!
Checkmate! The massive golden eagle finally swallowed Berncastle whole. It then slammed into the vast ceiling, and there was an incredible explosion accompanied by an earthquake. From the cracked ceiling, along with the many falling chips, a single black cat plummeted and slammed against the floor. Erica ran up to it, repeatedly calling out to her master, hugging it. Then she realized that it was still breathing, and simultaneous expressions of relief and shock rose to her face.
Don't worry. I won't let you lay a finger on my truth, but in the same way, I won't lay a finger on your truth.
Looks like a wet mop.
Call it a good scolding free of charge.
Beato, don't act too cozy with my big brother. I still haven't accepted your relationship, got it?
It was quite bold of you to revive me, fool. But it's too late. My charming subordinates and I shall torment you until the day you die. Yeah. And I'll make you watch Battle or flirt with me every day. Ah!
Oh, that's pretty convenient. Looks like this resurrection magic has an off switch.
Wait, Dad?
Beta kept appearing and disappearing like a light bulb turning on and off. And she seemed to be enjoying herself.
Ah, Butler, Angie's being mean.
Go easy on her, Angie.
Sure. If you say so, Oni-chan.
Angie, you're incredible! Ryu!
Machisima! Congratulations on becoming a Witch of Resurrection! This way, we'll all be together with you forever.
Yeah, that's right. We're all here. The anti-magic toxin doesn't matter one bit. You'll be with me for all eternity.
Nice, Angie. Well said! Everyone surged forward, squishing Angie. They tried tossing her into the air, but dropped her on her butt and everyone laughed. Angie looked a bit resentful, but when her brother lent her a hand, she got up and joined the circle of smiles. A quiet applause greeted them. Featherin, their witness, had acknowledged their victory and was clapping for them.
I just realized you couldn't hear my clapping. Whatever.
You wanna try it anyway?
Give me a setup orange.
You know what? Hold on a second.
Whoa, you did it. Wow.
There we go.
Splendidly done, Lady Angie Beatrice. In celebration of this miracle, I bestow upon you the title of Lady. The tale you weaved was quite entertaining. There's no need to be so hostile. I'm congratulating you.
Featherin smiled serenely. Then the cat overlords broke their positions in the constellation and lined up behind her. Clearly this was not only a peaceful action, but part of a solemn ceremony.
You have defeated my Miko. And I thank you for sparing her life. As you can see, she was my cute pet cat who never ceased to save me from boredom.
One sec, I'll be right back. My mom wants me for a moment.
Oh.
Sure. If she died, boredom would overcome me as well.
The truth strength of this being, who referred to Burncastle as a pet cat, had been made clear during her fight with Lambda Delta. Even so, Angie spoke, after going to talk to her mother.
Oh, man. This has been hype-based Kino content.
I feel like you guys are maybe missing something a little bit. It's not really about, like, being delusional or anything.
Oh, I just like saying it. I think it's really
hey.
funny.
We'll save all that for the last stream. But
Fair
very
enough.
good.
This entire thing exists in the world. of
Hey,
delusion.
hey, hey.
We don't know what's
We'll
going
save all
on.
Hey, whoa, hey, whoa,
for the
hey, whoa
last
now.
stream.
Oh, yeah, very good one more stream, as a matter of fact.
Gotta have some topics to talk about.
Gonna have a lot of topics to talk about, and a lot of Golden Fantasia to play.
Woo!
Fata Morgana, Morinda.
Mm-hmm. And I highly suggest you come to join us for that Morinda, not Fata Morgana. Your name isn't Fata Morgana.
Fata Morinda.
Because it is very, I would describe it as very Umineko adjacent, but not like quite. You get the vibes.
It has the same
I think you probably should use better descriptors than that.
It has a similar mouth feel.
Oh, Fata, F-A-T-A.
It's another Ryokishi thing.
Dad, why is my sister named Rose?
The whole name is the House of Fata
Don't look it up
Morgana.
too much
Yeah,
if
it's
you
the
don't
house.
know about it.
Yeah, don't look into it too much, but I think you'd like it. And I hope
Was
you
it
stop by.
before or after Higurashi?
Fucking damn it.
What?
Hey, Fata Morgana, was it before or after Higurashi?
It was after.
Okay,
It came out like 2000, oh god, 2012?
I wasn't sure if it was. Oh, right, Higurashi was like his first big early thing.
Yeah.
Fata
geez,
is,
yeah.
not
It's got similar vibes, is what I'm trying to say.
Did it come after Umi?
Yes.
It is a visual novel, yeah. The Golden Theater will once again will pretty much only be visual novels for the most part. It's not Ryukishi though; it's something else.
Not Ryukishi, it's Keiko Hanada, my new best fucking
Sorry.
friend.
Sorry, AC, you can talk now.
I was gonna say, like, Dad, why is my sister named Rose? Oh, because your mother likes roses. Oh, that makes sense. Understandable, House of Fata Morgana.
So,
I mean,
when
the
are we
answer
doing...
therefore would just be Morgana.
So when are we doing Steins Gate then?
Steins Gate is it's probably gonna be after Rose Gun Days.
After Rose Gun Days?
Mhm.
And we're doing Siconia after Rose Gun as well, right?
Oh.
Or are we doing that before?
Oh.
We'll figure it out.
We're kind of pushing it back because it's kind of under the suggestion of not being finished.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it to like this
Why don't you-
December. If we don't get
why
like a
don't you-
fucking whiff of another part of Siconia, we should just bite the bullet at some point.
I was gonna say, why don't you just give it till we finish the other Ryukishi work? So like,
That's true.
Are we
We could go to
touching
Ryukishi
Iwahime actually? Or are you gonna scan that first?
Iwahime might be a. I'm probably gonna try skimming it a little bit, but I think that might just be a theater joint, not a theater joint, an orange
joint.
stream joint. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the record, Miranda, it is significantly shorter than Umineko. It's like 30 hours long, but there's a lot of side content and additional stories to pierce through, so it's like half the length of Umineko for the most part.
I am getting on how long to beat. Completionist 38 hours. Main plus extra is 30 hours.
Please stop looking at things.
Yeah, don't look at anything.
How long to beat is safe.
I remember seeing a death for a video game when I looked that up before.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say half
I wonder how
1,000,000
long this game
words.
would be. And I'm staring at this protagonist's like dead fucking corpse.
But yeah, we'd sincerely hope that you
on?
stick around for that. We're going to have a fun bit at the end of the Saku stream, where you'll get the
that on?
briefest glimpse. What's up,
Is
Sim?
that on how long to beat, or did you Google how long to beat Thing and then saw a picture?
I
of a
looked
character
at- I
guy? No,
typed up-
AC.
Wait, are you talking to me or AC?
I went how long to beat and then thing.
Look,
Yeah.
just take the word of the guy who played through the pretty much all of everything involving it. We're looking at about 30 hours for like the main game itself, and about another 30-ish hours of like side content and bonus stories.
Cause it's not. We're doing the Ultra Extreme Edition, so you get even
Yeah.
extra content.
And then other side stories.
And then the other side story. Then we gotta go back to Steam.
Like we're gonna have to switch over to Steam sometimes because there's some content that's only on the Steam version of the games for some fucking reason.
Oh, I looked into that. It's because the company who did the other part of it has the rights. It's another.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
One of those situations.
Oh, almost definitely. Like, what is it? It's been basically like a year at this point, Miranda.
It has been about 15 months. It has been well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
15 months?
We started, no, we started in like
May
June.
of last year.
May? Wow. Holy shit.
Or March, I think.
Was it
I
March?
think it was May.
It was May.
It was May.
Mm-hmm. The first upload was June, to my knowledge.
I can't believe I've known you guys for this long. Jesus Christ.
So, Miranda, to clarify, I say it's 30 hours, but like the additional content we're going through will add another 30 hours onto that. So it's about.
Wait, what? Add another 30 hours?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 60 hours?
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. How long to beat's at 38 as most?
Because that's the main content. Stop looking at things.
I'm gonna.
I already looked at it. It's too late now.
Well, don't look any further.
Please
Going
don't
through
look any further.
Umineko this slowly was not doing the pacing any favors.
True enough. But yeah. That's just kind of how it goes.
Also, we had a lot of breaks with Umineko.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I just read it with a friend, it took like 6 months to get through it, so it's on par for the course.
Oh well.
Let me tell you, if this is exactly the speed I would be reading Umineko if I was actually reading Umineko with my reading issues. I would have to constantly relook at the transcript because I wouldn't have noticed I zoned out while reading.
Yeah. Connie, back yet? Okay,
Oh,
never
no,
mind.
Not Josh.
I don't know. Do you want to just call it here?
No.
Even in its final moments, Josh must wear the dress for the good of everybody. Nah, not really. We'll wait for Con a little bit more. Honestly, we could probably stop here if we wanted to.
That's such... Oh.
Like, I mean, the pacing has already been, like, stopped.
I must say, I'm pretty sure until the stopping point we planned for, I believe there is at least like 20 to 30 minutes.
Really?
Before we add in the
No,
voice
not
acting
even.
text.
No way.
Am I wrong?
No.
Actually.
I don't think so.
Maybe less, but you know.
Maybe less, but I did figure we would be reading, like, at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a guy. It's hard being a casting director and having this point that you want to stop because it's going to be based in Kino and you can't do it.
Next time we can go up until the end anyway, no?
That's true.
But the Kino is right here. It's so close.
If
Well,
need be,
we'll
I can
do
put on the
more, won't we
dress.
then?
This shirt.
You should have Zaz put on the dress for the...
No, I will do it. Also, he's deafened.
Oh, he's definitely
Yeah, it's not here right now.
We really should go another 15 minutes. So true, Miranda. So true.
I would hate for Khan to miss out on the stuff. I mean, I guess you could watch
I'd
the
also,
blood.
I'd hate for me to miss out on it. And by me missing out, I mean me waiting. No, I'm kidding.
Whew, boy. You know, I'm glad we're getting this out now because I want the next session to end quietly. Like it's just we're gonna hit the end of the thing and it's just gonna like the stream's gonna end and then we're gonna have like the actual like final bits discussion for the next thing. So this is the pre-show. It's happening right now at a really awkward time. How do you feel about Aurora murdering Lambda Delta in cold blood? Angie, I'm dying to know.
I'm back.
I guess I will not be donning the skirt.
All right, action.
What happened?
Just go. Move.
Like,
I won't forgive you for killing Lambda Delta.
My, that doesn't sound like the words of a witch of resurrection. And can you not revive her whenever you wish?
Huh? I can revive her? It's okay. I'm sure that Lady Lambda Delta has been revived somewhere thanks to your power. There's no need to worry.
Indeed. She's already been moved to the audience seating I prepared for her. Do not fear. I shall take good care of her.
Really? That's wonderful.
Angie finally relaxed and let the tension leave her whole body.
Well now. Battler. You are now the sole game master of your final game.
True. That cat of yours looks like she's out of the running.
Perhaps you should carry on with the final ceremony of your game. My Miko is forgetful as a cat, but she can sometimes be persistent as one. I suggest getting it over with quickly.
Yeah. Okay, I'll follow your advice there.
I shall be your witness and record a detailed account of it all.
I am going to hold on. We're not going to quite stop yet, but this is going to be a secret tool that will help us later.
Tool?
This save file right here. Continuing.
The final ceremony. So, even this game is about to end.
Battler nodded silently. They stepped out from the crowd and motioned for Angie to follow him. As Angie passed by each member of the Ashurmia family, they cheered her on, giving her words of encouragement. Battler took out the golden key and handed it to Angie. It now had the same glint that it had possessed when he had first given it to her. That is a mirrored image.
You can totally tell.
Then two doors appeared out of thin air on either side of them. They had a stately design, making the importance of this choice clear.
Am I supposed to pick one without any hints?
Of course not. I'll give you a hint. By now it should be an easy puzzle. A simple puzzle with two answers. And you'll choose your answer by opening one of the doors.
I see. Okay. So this is a continuation of the Halloween party. I fell asleep during that party, didn't I? I'm glad to finally wrap that up properly.
Biedo, come forward.
After all, you fell asleep before you got to my puzzle. I'm glad now I have a chance to tell it. Sorry about that. It sounds like it'll be pretty tough.
You'll be fine, Angie.
I wonder about that.
Prepare yourself. It's a tough one.
Calm down, Angie. It's an easy puzzle. Don't you remember the first thing your brother told you? About how to choose the best possible option?
Battler, you're giving too many hints. This is the triumphant return of Lady Angie, the Witch of the Future. All you have to do is watch over her.
True. Then I'll hand it over to Biedo. I'm counting on you.
Indeed. Then let us begin. Okay.
Angie gulped and stood up at the witch's face. The witch held out her left hand, bringing it close to Angie's face. Then she slowly spread her fingers.
Look carefully at my palm. I'm not hiding anything, correct?
Yeah. There's nothing there.
Watch closely. I'll make a fist, and then stretch out my index finger.
Stretched out her index finger and held it right in front of Angie's eyes.
Watch the tip of my finger closely. Ready? It'll be fast.
The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing into the heavens. Just as Angie looked up to see her the finger raised high, it swung down as though trying to dodge her gaze. In that manner, up, down, left, right, then left again, as though Angie was playing a game of Achi Hoi. That is not how you say it. Machi Hoi, thank you. Angie, feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertip, swung her with her fingertip, swung her face this way and that, looking serious. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Angie didn't lose track of it. Then, after the high pointing finger was swung down all of a sudden, the index finger curled up again, and the hand was held in a simple fist.
Ready. I'm going to open my hand.
The witch slowly opened her right fist, and there was a cutely wrapped candy.
Got it?
Yeah.
Was this a trick or magic?
Okay, the first one was a safety net. This is where we're actually going to make a quick save.
This is my puzzle for you.
Go ahead, Angie. Give your answer. Is this a trick or magic?
No. I know what the answer is.
If your answer is magic, open this door. If it's a trick, then open this door.
I had already decided upon my answer.
All
Well?
right.
Oh god, you're leaving this up to us.
Yeah, the witch showed her left hand was empty. She made a fist.
So technically speaking, well, okay, hold on a second. We're at a bit of a... So I might just have to, like, violently close out of the game if we want to, like, have the decision be later.
It won't let you save here? Damn.
Nope.
I mean, you already just saved.
Yeah, you already just saved, so it should be fine.
It is true. All right.
I think it might be better to wait until Sunday because it's not that long of a time span, and plus
It's true.
people can think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to be alternate endings?
There will be a brief discussion on how we're going to handle this post-stream.
I had an idea, so I can discuss it with Fight Club.
I think we've already talked about this before, and I agree with the idea you had in mind because I think it's a very good one. It's like it reminds me of the stream, the Let's Play that I watched before. But yeah.
I think we better think of something.
So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and violently execute out of this game.
All that for.
I'm very, very glad that I saved a bajillion times.
Good job.
Oh
Good
my
job.
god, I can't believe we're actually at this point.
Good work, everybody.
Like, I actually do have a...
Hey, good job.
I do have a thought regarding that, but I shall save it to the next stream.
Well, my friends, you have traveled far, and you've learned everything there is to know about this tale. So I hope you know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I do.
Well, but you're gonna save that for next time. Next time.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Hold that answer in your heart, and
I like that Battler punched that child. That was pretty funny.
That millions of years old child.
I had to like deep dive into my Tumblr and Twitter account to like try and find this fucking
I like when Battler committed animal abuse against Burn Castle.
I can finally post an edit of like this of like Burn Castle and that punch, but instead of Battler, they edited Scout TF2 over him with the bat.
I know, like Christmas a year or two ago, I posted a quote-unquote embarrassing picture of Burn Castle at the Christmas party, in which Battler was handing her a gift by punching her. So yes, if anybody has any last parting thoughts, because like I said, we're going to have a nice like quiet, soft ending for the next one. So this is your technically last chance to get some thoughts out while Umineko is still going, because then we're just going to do it during the oh yeah, very good one more stream.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to have like big
You don't want to have
reactions.
a big discussion. Like, say your big thoughts.
Most of my thoughts can wait for the last stream.
Wait, what is the oh yeah big ending? Like,
The oh yeah, very good one more stream is my very fun way of saying, obviously speaking, not everything was elaborated on and explained from what you have seen thus far, and I will tell you for free that what you're going to watch after this will not magically have all of the answers to all of your questions. So
that's fair.
The oh yeah, very good one more stream is where we are going to rip the cat box wide open, completely going against the point of the story, and showing you and giving you all the answers you so desperately want. Also, it'll be a good chance for people to talk about their feelings and their thoughts and like
we know subsequently there are still some things that we just like up to your own interpretations, which there are thousands of, but, you know.
Some is theorizing for endless hours and such.
I'm a big fan of telling Schrodinger to go fuck himself, so I'm glad about that.
Well, like I said, like B said, not everything is going to be elaborated on. So,
okay, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm getting Homestuck vibes.
I don't know how, but alright.
Shut up.
Nope. I can't believe the next stream is the first ever Twitch stream to mention a live firing squad.
I can post that thing that like somebody left a comment on ROG Limitation that was like, so basically this game is Danganronpa.
Oh my god.
It is! I can't believe we're going to have another firing squad stream.
But yeah, it's going to be a very fun bonus stream. We're probably going to play some Golden Fantasia during it too.
That's really hard explaining.
Seriously, I'm getting some major Homestuck vibe here. GG, no reach.
I mean, only two people will be fighting at once, so.
Also, Origin I can talk
Reminds me
about.
of the Saga Song of Beat with Swords.
And I have no idea what's
don't know
going on,
how.
so it won't affect my brain function.
But it's very similar.
But well, to be fair, like for the bit where we're kind of going over mysteries and stuff, I'm going to explain each episode breakdown by breakdown. So I'm probably not going to be able to play during that bit. But other than that, we can just talk about stuff. Yeah, because
what do you mean by that?
Well, there's answers for each of the episodes, like the mysteries.
Yeah,
there is. Remember the mystery side?
All the mysteries can be solved.
Yeah, all the mysteries can be solved.
Yep.
So every cat box is just gonna be open.
Yeah, they said that.
And don't get me wrong, I know this is technically going against the whole point of Umineko, but we don't want you guys to feel left in the dark and have to clamber around a bunch of lore chambers.
I mean,
Not only that,
done, and I just Google everything myself.
We have to let them read episode 8 manga, which I do recommend doing for its own.
Yeah.
Where can we
Right.
find that episode of the manga?
Well, you say it goes against like what the thing is about, but why do these answers exist in the first place?
Yeah, that's also pretty true. Yeah. We got little gray cells we gotta stimulate.
It's just so weird to me because it's like, oh, it's not meant to, but I go like, but people have the answers right there. They just gave them.
If the creator is given the answers, I feel like he's fine with people.
I know, it's fine.
The peak back in the day version of Umineko and understanding it was you got through everything and then you had your answers and then you reread it a second time with the answers in mind and then you're like, oh shit, it really actually does change like the story.
I have a life.
Whole step above Homestuck.
But yeah, this is just
You
going
don't
to be
have
like
to read it as slow.
Please stop talking about Homestuck. It is banned in this server. Have you seen the Have you seen the rules and regulations? It says right there, rule number 83, no Homestuck.
In the words of Mark Hamill, what are you gonna do? Fire her? He's one of the stars.
Yeah, I can
Mark
be
Hamill
Beatrice.
say this?
Mark Hamill, I believe, once in response to something related to Star Wars, like, what are they gonna do? Fire Luke Skywalker?
I mean, listen, I could be Burncastle, B can be Beatrice.
That would require you to actually show up and pay attention to the streams, though.
I can be. Listen, everybody can. Zaz could be Beatrice and Bert, and I could be Danganronpa character.
Miranda, I am shocked. I am shook that you don't know what Homestuck is.
No, good.
You're better off.
Okay, and we should probably end the stream before we corrupt Miranda.
Blissful ignorance.
Well, the stream is not about Homestuck, and I don't know what Homestuck is really either. But
That's fair.
Yeah,
And at this point, he's too afraid to ask.
Yeah, I'll stop mentioning it then.
Okay, but yeah,
And
that's
still, I am impressed that this entire story never once faltered on its narrative at all. That's a feat that's amazing.
Unfortunately, due to personal stuff going back a year and a half, I think that kind of bled into my experience, especially because I was like struggling to make it to some of these streams. It was like I was getting terrible sleep.
It's very funny.
all right. But
I have some
all right.
fun stuff to discuss.
We are rapidly. rapidly
Before we
approaching.
wrap it up, we should get a shout out to Lambda Delta.
Shout out to Lambda Delta.
Lambda Delta!
If she isn't in your top 5, you are lying to yourself.
Hideyoshi's pretty up there. Najo, Eva's
Shout out.
pretty up there.
Personal
Diva
shout out to
pretty up there.
Abyss. Make sure I'm in your top 5, bitch.
No, he said he's
Shout out to the Candy Witch.
He placed Lambda Delta in 6th.
Garbage.
Wow.
Wow. Terrible
Disgusting.
take. All right, time to go.
It's time for us to go. We will see you
Good
all for the
night.
final. One last. I need you to watch. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Nara.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Night.